Hi out there everybody, and welcome to our video. We are the Missouri Paranormal Association. My name is Michael. I'm the lead investigator. I'd like to introduce you to the rest of the team. We have Lorine, who is our second in command and lead investigator. And then we have Ted, he's our tech guy. And then we have Wendy, she's Lorine's sister. And then we have Teya, she's Wendy's daughter. And this is my daughter, Brittany. She's an investigator in training with the team. Now before we go diving off into our videos, we'd like you to do us a favor. Hit that like button and share with your friends. Please hit the subscribe button. It's a little thing for you, but it's a big thing for us, and we do greatly appreciate it. You can contact us at our website at MissouriParanormalAssociation.com, or you can contact us directly by using our email at MissouriParanormalAssociation@gmail.com. You can check out our other videos on our YouTube page, and you can check us out on Facebook. We conducted an investigation at the Beattie Mansion in St. Joseph, Missouri on Saturday, November the 5th. The team this night included myself, Lorine, and Ted. Brittany, Wendy, and Teya could not attend this investigation. On this night, we had 8 total cameras for our CCTV system, as well as our night vision camcorders and our thermal imager. We set up camera 1 in the first hallway at the top of the stairs. We set up cameras 3 and 4 in what they referred to as the Eliza Beattie hallway, with camera 3 facing down the hallway and camera 4 facing towards 2 of the doorways, one being a bathroom in the process of being remodeled and the other doorway being a second stairwell. We set up camera 2 in the hallway in between the 2 other hallways, next to the bedroom where the little girl Mabel is supposedly rumored to haunt. We set up camera 5 downstairs on first floor. We locked this camera down on the back door and aimed it facing the stairwell and the front door. We placed cameras 6, 7, and 8 downstairs in the basement, with camera 6 at the bottom of the stairs in the basement, directly underneath the first floor stairwell and the room where Ted would be sitting as he would sit and watch the view screen of the CCTV system. We placed camera 7 in the second hallway in the basement, a little further away from camera 6, facing down the hallway, and you can clearly see the doorway to what we refer to as the boiler room on the left of the screen. This was just a room, we call it the boiler room, mainly because it had low-hanging pipes. And then finally we placed camera 8 aimed into the darkened room that our guide had told us was the home of the so-called Shadow Man. We conducted our investigation throughout the night. We started actually late because it was taking longer than we expected to get all of our cameras set up, mainly because this was our first time using an 8-camera system instead of 4. And we also had to contend with the fact that this night was the very night that the time change was going to occur. We had never conducted an investigation on the exact day, exact night that the time change was about to occur. We've never done that before. This was the first weekend in November, which is when we all usually set our clocks back 1 hour. Our CCTV system uses Army time. No one on the team likes that, but it is something we have to contend with. In order to get around the Army time settings on our CCTV system, we set the time manually. This way it gives us regular time. We started setting up the cameras at approximately 6:30, hoping to be finished by 8. Unfortunately, it was taking much longer than we thought it would, which forced me to go on our Facebook Live and let all of our viewers know that we were still not finished setting up the cameras. 9 o'clock came along and we were still not finished, so I had to do it again. We finally finished setting up the cameras somewhere between 10:30 and 11 and started our investigation. The Beattie Mansion only has working electricity in a few select spots. There is working electricity on the first floor in 3 rooms behind the staircase next to the front door. These 3 rooms include a lounge room along with a bathroom and a bedroom. These 3 rooms accommodate guests who rent the structure for paranormal investigations. The bedroom is intended for those who intend to spend the night. It does include a working refrigerator and a microwave. There is 1 room downstairs in the basement that does have electricity. It is situated in between 2 hallways. There's also electricity in one area of one of the hallways, but upstairs on the second floor, that runs to a plug in the center of the hallway where there is a painting of Eliza Beattie. There is also some random electrical wires running in the walls along certain hallways where the owner has placed what they call Wi-Fi boosters. Unfortunately for our team, these Wi-Fi boosters were no help at all. We had numerous problems keeping our Facebook Live going throughout the night, and the Wi-Fi boosters were not helping at all. Eventually, we gave up on Facebook Live and simply concentrated on the investigation itself. Ted and Lorine had already made the decision earlier that they were going to leave at 4 a.m. after the witching hour. The problem for me, being the leader of the team, was having to decide whether 3 a.m. would be the witching hour or 2 a.m. simply because of the time change. At 2 a.m., we were supposed to set all of our clocks back 1 hour, but instead of doing that, we went ahead and set our time 1 hour earlier on our CCTV system. So everything that we talk about in this video, the time that you see in the timestamps, is actually an hour earlier than it was actually recorded. According to the timestamp on the CCTV system, which had been set an hour earlier, they left at what the timestamp says is 3 a.m. But as far as they were concerned, it was already 4 a.m. I had already made the decision early on that I was going to stay the night. We had total control over the place until noon the next day, which by my thinking would give us plenty of time to take all the cameras down. So Ted and Lorine leave at 3 a.m. I decided rather than to keep on going, I decided to go ahead and try to get some sleep so I wouldn't be groggy driving home the next day. I had some problems trying to get to sleep because, as luck would have it, at 3 a.m. I started hearing noises, bumps, bangs, that kind of thing that would keep me awake. After about 30 or 40 minutes, I did eventually finally doze off. I woke up at 7:30 the next morning and immediately started taking down the cameras. And it took a long time to get those cameras taken down. I left at sometime between 11 and 11:15 that morning to go on my way home. We spent the next several months going through the video during our off time hours from work. Several of our team members, including myself, had to work mandatory overtime November into December and January and part of February. But we did go through the video during the times that we were not at work, with the notable exception, of course, of the holidays for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, in which most of us were out of town visiting with relatives. Before we began our investigation, we started with a tour given to us by the tour guide.
So it was built in 1854 for Armstrong and Eliza Beattie. Armstrong Beattie, he was the first banker of St. Joe. He was also a mayor of St. Joe, the only one elected 4 additional times after that. Eliza Beattie was married to Eliza Beattie. Back then, you can't really find much information on women back then, so even what you read on the wall, you won't find that much on her. So yeah, Armstrong got sick 1878. He came down with cholera, which...
Oh, cholera, yeah.
Cholera.
Yeah.
And he did die in here. It is documented that he died here.
In this room?
Not in this room, in this building.
In the building, yeah.
I believe that the services was held in here, and then when you read on the paper, it'll talk about how they marched down to Jewel Street for him. They had a big ceremony for his funeral. They all walked down and marched. Eliza lived here for 2 more years. She died in 1880. We don't know what she died of. There's nothing on her. But we believe she was bedridden. And then she also died in the building as well. We believe up in her room. In 1880, when she died, they had no children. Armstrong and Eliza had no children. So when they both died, the nephews and nieces of Armstrong were given any money that was left over. When Eliza was living by herself, she was left no money. The only thing she was left was the mansion. So when she died, they got the money, and the mansion was bought by the Ladies Union of Benevolence Association, which basically housed women and children who had nowhere to go. Pregnant women, basically prostitutes, that had nowhere to go. They brought them in here. It was at the Ladies Union of Benevolence Association owned from 1880 to 1895. In 1895, it became a nursing home, which they called Memorial Home for the Aged. It slowly transitioned from that to a nursing home. This would have been the kitchen when it transitioned to a nursing home. So when it was a home, like when Armstrong and Eliza lived here, it's kind of hard to picture how it would have been as a home, like where the kitchen would have been, where the front room would have been. So it's kind of hard to imagine that. There's no blueprints that we could find to pull up on the building itself. But we do know that the original kitchen was downstairs because there's a dumbwaiter right here. So they would have cooked down there and brought the food up. This room here is like, it's probably my personal favorite as far as activity.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why, but anytime we just sit in here and we're quiet, you can see shadows just going by.
Ooh.
And I remember one time sitting in here, me and my buddy Nick was sitting there, just two of us. And if you sit at a certain spot, all that china and cabinet over there, you can see reflections and stuff. So we're sitting there and you can see reflections going by. And I'm like, what is that? So we're both looking out that way, and at the same time we see something and we look at each other. And that, to me, that's validation. We didn't say anything. We just both looked at each other and we're like,
Right.
I was like, did you see that? He's like, what'd you see? I said, right above the banister. It's like I seen the shadow just go right by. He's like, yeah. And then once your mind goes there, it's like everything's like,
Right.
you know? So we start freaking out about everything. But we've caught a little girl's voice in here, which we believe to be Mabel. On the paper, she is a documented death here as well. But those are, I believe, the only 3 documented deaths. I'm sure there's, being a nursing home and everything, there's way more deaths here. But this here is my favorite spot here and out in this hallway. I have some recordings of the little girl's voice we caught. Some screaming that we could hear. Last time we was here a month ago, we was sitting down in this hallway, and you can just hear chatter. Like,
Oh, wow.
it was the first time being here that I heard like a conversation between a man and a woman, and it was awesome. We all heard it, and then we also got on the record. We heard like a scream right when we brought up Mary Ann. So if you read on that paper, there was a Mary Ann Wilson that lived here as well, which would have been Armstrong's relation. So in 1885, when this house became a memorial home for the aged, the original house stopped right here. So from when it was built in 54 till 85, this was it from here on. So when they started bringing in more and more elderly people, they had to add on.
This is 1854 to 1885?
Yes.
Okay.
That's this side.
Yep, and then
Right.
1885, they built this. This end of the hallway down here, obviously it would have been where the nurse's station was. You got the call board up here. It's got the calls in some of the rooms.
Call board. Wow.
Oh, I got
And I'm assuming the desk, because the outlets down there, the desk would have been back here. That chair right there is what Mary Ann called the haunted potty chair.
Really?
Really?
And there's a lot of claims in that book about that chair. And we had a woman, when I investigated once, there's a lot of claims in there of women in their hair pulled. Not aggressively,
Right.
but they get their hair pulled.
Ah.
And so we was with my friend's mom actually. She's not really into it. She just wanted to come and check it out. She was sitting down in that chair, and we were sitting here along the wall in the dark, and you just heard a thump. And then she was like hysterical. She had got her hair pulled and it hit her head on the wall,
Oh, wow.
and never came back. I made a believer out of her now. I made a believer out of me because I'm like, she's not gonna lie about that. You know? Right. Some people, I'm like, okay, but when you see it for yourself,
Oh,
and
yes.
you know that person, it's like, okay, that was pretty legit. There is a story. There's no documentation of it, but there is a story. A woman hung herself from the stairway, strapped a sheet, towel, whatever, around the banister, jumped over and hung herself on the stairway.
Oh, wow.
I haven't experienced much there, but a lot of people have had some experiences right here. Mainly a woman. Maybe that's where the aggressive hair pull comes from. Mary Ann will also tell you the women will get, like a crazy mental patient, a crazy mental man hangs out down here. So that's why it's geared more towards the woman. Personally, other than the woman getting her hair pulled, I can't vouch for that. But I feel like I need to just tell you some of the people's experiences to.
Right.
This room down here, we do what they call Charlie's room. There is a couple stories booked about this people had in this room. One of them being messing with the clothes in the closet. They're his clothes, you don't mess with. I've heard people say he gets angry when you mess with his stuff.
Oh, really?
Maybe something you can mess with.
Oh, yes, maybe.
As far as bedrooms, there's not a lot of information on the individual bedrooms. Years ago, a group used to do the tours here, and their claim was that 19 was the suicide room. And then over the years, it kind of transitioned from room 19 to the stairway. So that's why I say just kind of take it with a grain of salt and see what you guys experience for yourself. If you read up on the mansion, you'll read a lot about Eliza and her hallway. This would be Eliza's hallway right here. That's the only known picture of her right there. So Mary Ann keeps it nice for her. She keeps
And
the
this
light
is
on.
Eliza.
Eliza Beattie,
Beattie.
Armstrong's wife.
Okay.
Now, I've heard her down in this side. I've heard her here before. We've got recordings. I've heard a woman. So I just assume it's her. But history-wise, when I go over it, so she dies in 1880, right? And this half of the building wasn't built till 85. So my kind of goal here is to figure out if it's really her and why are you over here? You know what I mean?
Or it could be somebody else.
Right.
Could be the one that hung herself.
Right. It just, things like that, I think. Right. Some people believe there are children here. I got reported a little girl. Maybe she's here protecting them, you know. That's what some people want to believe, so. But it is a very active hallway. This is another good spot right here.
You know anything about this room?
Yes, this here is what we believe to be Mabel's room, where Mabel was.
And who was Mabel?
Mabel was the little 4-year-old girl that died.
Okay.
Yeah, she died here. It is documented. She was an orphan.
What year?
She was brought in. It would have been early 80s. Before 80, it would have been between 80 and 85 because that's when it was the orphanage.
Okay.
It's on the sheet. I believe it was like
Yeah.
82 or 83.
I read that.
Yeah, it doesn't tell much about how it just states that her mom passed away, and then her dad drowned in Sugar Lake, which is south. And that's why she was brought here to.
Do you know if this is her or not?
I don't think it is. I shouldn't say that, but I don't think it is. I think it's just something that was brought here and put in here to kind of give it the feel.
Okay.
Down that way, there's one big room down here where people have pretty good activity. So what she's trying to do now, and I say Mary Ann. Mary Ann is the one who gives most of the tours here. So I kind of fill in from time to time. She's the psychic medium here.
Oh, I heard about
Yes,
her.
she's super nice lady. She's very knowledgeable in this place. So what she's trying to do is she's trying
Want a
to
drink?
slowly transition with its time.
Hey, Lorine.
Oh, okay.
Want to get wasted?
So I think her intention here with this room was because it did house prostitutes with their children, so I think she's trying to give it the
Oh, gotcha.
prostitute feel, yeah.
Oh, right.
And that's what she's gonna do with each room.
Wonder how old that wine is, or if it's even wine.
Yeah, because there's no label or nothing.
Find out.
Ain't no label on it.
Oh.
Yeah, we believe that would have been Armstrong's room, just because the size of it and the view that it has of St. Joe and what it would have been at that time. So it kind of
Okay.
made sense that would have been his. And we believe this would have been Eliza's room. They would have had separate rooms at that time. This is a very good room. I personally get a lot of activity here, and if it's not in here, we're in here and we hear it right out here. This here, so I believe on Discovery Plus is what it is. The owner's adopted son, he paid him to be the caretaker here when he first bought this. So this would have been in 1885 when it was the nursing home. It remained that until 1995, so it remained that for 100 years. It shut its doors in 95. It became a memorial home for the aged after that, it would have became a Main Street Manor. And what that did was just brought in alcoholics, drug users, tried to get them help. That only lasted a year, and then they shut the doors completely. The reason they shut it down as a nursing home is that it was too outdated for all the people that was here. They couldn't keep up with, so they moved them out into new nursing homes. After Main Street Manor, after they shut it down with the alcoholics and stuff, it was just vacant. Nobody lived here. And the current owner bought it in 2004, wanted to turn it into a bed and breakfast. So
Yeah, I read about that falling through. So
he hired his adopted son to come in here and do the caretaking, fix it up, do the work. Well, this is the room he stayed in, and on Discovery Plus, on My Horror Story, he does an episode about his stay here. And he was sleeping, his story goes, he was sleeping in here, the door was shut, and he hears someone rattling, you know, he's the only one here, so he gets up and he comes over to the door and checks it out, nothing. He goes back and lays down, and he hears it again more aggressively. And he claims he sees the shadows go underneath the door, passing by, and the door's just rattling. So he gets up. He was here alone. You're alone in St. Joe at this time. So he's got a shotgun. He carries a shotgun, and he opens the door. And he goes outside, goes down on the front porch, and that's where he stays the rest of the night until sunlight comes up, and then he leaves, and he's never been back. He has not been back here since then. Wow. It's a really good story. If you get a chance to watch it, he'll go over a lot of detailed stuff that happened here. So if you read up on the mansion at all, and you hear about the Shadow Man, that's the Shadow Man's room right here, to your left. We've heard some growls
Right here?
and some
Growls,
deep
really?
male presence. Yeah. There is claims that the piano too. This piano does work.
Has it ever played?
There's people in that book who claim they heard piano. Now there's two pianos. There's one down here and there's
One upstairs, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then when they kept women and children here, they transitioned into schoolrooms. So I've got a couple good things down here. One of them being a really low voice. We didn't hear it audibly at the time, but
So if I wanted to put a camera like right out here, and the cord could reach, there is electricity to this plug right here?
I believe so. I don't.
There's electricity
Well, yeah,
to
because
this
the
knob.
lights
I'll say if
are-
not,
You
Yeah.
can plug it in right here.
you can even unplug one of them lights if you
Right.
need to. I mean,
Because I just noticed that, I was like, wait a minute, you got power down here. I could plug one of my cameras in, we wouldn't have to use the extension cord for that one.
and this is, yeah, it goes way down.
Wow.
This is the broiler room. This would have been, at the beginning of the time, would have been the coal room, where they kept the coal.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
We've sat in there a few times and done some sessions. Just watch your head if you're down here at night,
Okay.
because there's pipes hanging below down there. And there's one room back there, it's just a bare room. They must have came here. The group last night came down here.
Oh.
Another dark ass room down here.
Oh, you okay?
Yep.
I don't know.
Ain't the first time.
Ow!
Stop.
We should just close it off.
Right up and find you.
Oh, gosh. That'll be in the blooper reel.
No, it won't. You didn't get that on camera.
I got the sound. Ooh!
Right?
I don't know exactly what this would have been at the time, but we do believe there was a carriage house back here, so maybe it was just a way to get from one to the other, or somewhere something they kept the horses at the time. They would have kept them down here maybe. But that's pretty much all the rooms in the mansion. Pretty neat place.
When I first seen that, I thought it was the original guy from here. That was the mayor and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Armstrong, he's actually up here. He's in here. He's that's him.
Oh, that's in there?
But he is the original.
God, he died young too.
Yeah. You guys
68.
wanna hear that- You guys want to hear that little girl?
Yes.
It's a video, so I'll just let you hear it more.
What we think it is actually a recorded death here. So it's a little girl, 4 years old. It's on record. And yeah, after that, so see if we can pick it up on here. We're gonna use the shotgun mic, see if it'll. Is this Major?
That was in the kitchen.
Wow.
That was in the kitchen?
So my
The sound
son,
Oh, you can't go, you gotta go out
No,
this
that was
way.
where that's where they were, was in the kitchen. The sound really
Oh,
could have
yeah.
come from anywhere, so.
Right.
So then my son and my friend was in there sitting by themselves, and they heard that with their own ear. And they came in here and they was like, "Well, we got this." They went back and listened to it, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Things like that's like really cool because there was
Right.
we were the only three in here. The one down in the basement, it was a good one too. Okay, this is right down there in the basement by the walk-in dryer.
Put on some
Didn't
serious.
hear that at the time.
It's
at
kind of
all.
like a whisper.
Yeah, I didn't hear that at the time at all. I just
Yeah.
went back and listened to it.
Out there, everybody, we are the Missouri Paranormal Association. My name is Michael. I'm the lead investigator. I'd like to introduce you to the rest of the team. We have Lorine. She's our second in command and lead investigator. This is Brittany. She's an investigator in training. This is my daughter. And we have Ted. He's our tech guy. We have two other members, Wendy and Teya, but they couldn't be here with us today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what we debunked. So let's go through the debunkings. Okay, first debunking. So this is down in the basement. This is camera 6. This is the camera that we had down at the bottom of the stairs, and we kept seeing what looked like something moving, something wispy moving in the camera.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our camera; it was their camera, because our camera wasn't there. We're seeing their camera on their screen that they had, that you were in that room.
Right.
And you wanted to see what that is, so me and Lorine went downstairs to check into it.
Yeah, it's a spider web.
It's a spider web.
Spider web, yeah.
We thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, the second debunking, and this is debunking the little figure that you were seeing down in the basement. You kept saying you were seeing this figure or shadow thing, whatever it was. And this is from camera 6 at the bottom of the stairs, camcorder of the same thing. But I do have a split screen, so we can do both of them together.
Oh, yeah.
What?
What we're seeing. That right there.
What?
That mixer thing. That's what we're seeing.
Okay. That big thing right there. That's that big concrete mixer looking thing. But I also included this in the blooper reel for obvious reasons. You'll hear in just a second. You don't see it anymore because we've got our lights floating around.
Right.
It disappears. So
You don't see it anymore? There's some kind of mixer thing down here that I touched. Could that have been what it was? Or do you not see anything at all now?
Both of you need to back up a couple of steps.
Okay, doing it now.
Yeah, it's still there. I see the legs, or what presumes to be the legs, but I don't see the head no more that was on top. I just see the legs and the back and the right arm.
Okay, let me go stand by this thing. See if you can, let me know if you can see me, and I'm going to be touching it.
Okay, I see you. Bring your hands down. Bring it all the way down. All you're touching is butt.
it's the mixer.
Baby!
It's the mixer.
Yeah, it must just be the way it's looking, I guess.
Yeah, paraphernalia at its finest. Well, at least we took care of that, though.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna go into the photos because I want you to see the photos I took of this. What I did was I took a screenshot and circled what you were seeing. So I've got these screenshots here. I'm gonna show. I can only show them to you one at a time. Here's the figure right here.
Right,
See the head.
yeah.
There's the right arm. It looks like it's doing this.
Yep, sure does.
Okay. There's the right arm. There's the whole thing total together. You can see the torso, that what looks like legs, and then the right arm there doing this.
Yep.
There's the head. But it's not actually a head. It's not really a figure. It's just the way the light and shadow hits
Right.
that thing back there. But there's the head right there. I don't know if you can make it out in this light, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, we debunked the figure you saw. Okay, this one. This is camera 8. This is the last of the 8 cameras down in the basement. This is actually in that room where he was saying this is where the shadow figure lives, is this room. And when I first spotted this, I was like, oh, I gotta show the guys this. Because you always hear people, oh, it's orbs, orbs, orbs everywhere. Oh, boys, orbs, orbs, all these spirit orbs. And I have no doubt that some people in certain media would look at this and scream, oh, there's spirits everywhere.
Pretty dusty place.
We had just finished setting up camera 7 on the other side of this. And watch all this. That's dust because we were setting up the camera on the opposite side over there. But it gets worse. Keep watching. There's going to be a flood here in a minute. Just keep watching. Keep watching. Here it comes. See that huge flood coming in?
Mm-hmm.
That's from us stomping around down there. We were stirring up all kinds of dust down there. And I only include this to tell everybody, look, this is what your so-called orbs look like. It's not
Right.
spirit orbs, they're dust. Especially when they're totally transparent and you pretty much know there's activity that you're doing that's causing it.
Right, right.
So, and I put it here in the title of the video. Look at all that dust we started. There's just all kinds of dust in there. And this is something I want to point out because I didn't realize this at the time. But when he was showing us the rooms, the sun was still out. But that room down there in the basement, all those rooms in the basement, they're all dark because there's no sunlight coming through except for that one area way back in a corner. But when he was showing us this room, we didn't have no sunlight at all. And I was flashing my flashlight in there to see what it looked like inside. I had no idea that these windows were boarded up. I had no idea they were covered. That's the only reason I put that camera there, because I wanted to see if something was going to pass by those windows. And when I started watching the video, and I realized they were
Boarded up.
We're not boarded up, but they're covered. They got some kind of cardboard or plasterboard or something, whatever it is on the outside of them. I didn't realize that was there. So when I started watching the video, even in the morning when I was taking the cameras down, I didn't realize that was there because it was so dark in there.
Right.
And I wasn't concentrating on the windows. I had my flashlight trying to take the camera down. But I didn't realize it was there. If I'd have known that, I would have took that camera on the inside of the room and pointed it out the door instead of pointing it in, because I thought for sure I was going to catch something, going by the windows.
Right.
The way we did at the prison. We caught that face going by that window at the same time on a peekaboo guy.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for, but nothing, because I didn't realize the windows were boarded up. Okay, that's all of the stuff that we got debunked. Now we're going into the stuff that can't really explain. So here is where me and Lorine are getting some K2 hits and EMF hits. Let's see, we know there's something going on here because there's no electricity in this place at all, or it shouldn't be. The only place that had electricity was downstairs in the first floor in that room where you were watching the videos. That's where we plugged everything in at.
No, we had electricity
Except
where...
we had that one spot next to the frame where that woman's face is in the hallway.
Well, that and where the Wi-Fi boosters were plugged in.
Those, but I'm talking about,
did no good.
but those didn't do any good because we couldn't keep our Facebook Live going.
Right.
Let's see, right here, we're starting to come out of the room, and she starts getting another K2 hit. I'm getting very light, just beep, beep, these teeny weeny little, itchy bitchy little, minuscule little EMF hits. And she's getting little light blips on the K2. But what I think is interesting about this, the signal goes out.
Yeah.
We lose the camera right there. It blacks out for a second, and then it comes back on. And we're still getting hits. And then it blacks out again. Something is messing with the camera. I think maybe something was trying to get some energy to try to manifest maybe.
We should never have
And
lost
then
signal.
we walk into this room over here to the side.
Right, with all those boosters, we should have never lost signal
I know.
on anything.
Yeah. But we kept losing our Facebook Live.
Yep.
We never could keep it going. And I finally gave up on it. I quit. Okay, this, you're going to need these to be able to hear this thing. It's not like an EVP or nothing. What this is what is this one? This is camera 3 upstairs, second floor. And the camera keeps cutting out. Now, there was some places where it would cut out and then play and then cut out and then play. But there's a couple other places where it cuts out and then it's long stretches of video and then it cuts out again. So what I did was I went through the video and I shortened it because all I want you to see is the fact that the camera's cutting out. So you'll see the timestamp jump forward. That's what that is. I'm cutting it short so you can see the next time it cuts out. But what I want you to pay attention to is at the same time this camera keeps cutting out. Listen to the sound. I've never heard anything like this. I have a hard time believing this is just some kind of malfunction. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is, but the sound is just going crazy in the microphone of this thing. I don't know what it's doing. Let's see. The camera cuts out. Then it comes back on. It cuts out again. Cuts back on. Yeah, the time skips forward a little bit. Then it cuts off. Comes back on. See how the time has skipped forward? That's because I'm trying to shrink down all the long stretches. But the basic idea is that the camera keeps cutting out and coming back on. You hear that sound?
Yeah, that's very weird.
I don't know what that is. There's something weird going on with the microphone in this camera at the time this is happening. And this is the only time this happened. This is the only time this happened. Notice the time is at 2:12. Now this was the night that y'all were going to leave at 4 a.m., but you left at 3 a.m. It's because of the time.
Right.
That went back. This is our first time doing an investigation on the very night that the time jumps back. We had never done that before. So y'all left at 3 o'clock, so this is technically 3 o'clock in the morning, but y'all were still here. We were all down on the first floor at the time this happened. But I just can't explain what this noise is that's in the microphone. I don't know what this sound is. I'm just going to call it a sound malfunction because I don't know what else to call it. But it didn't happen at any other time. Just this one particular spot right here between 2 and 2:15 or 2:30 or whatever it was. that little stretch of time right there that this video is going to play out, that's the only time that this happened. The sound stopped at, I forget what it was, 2:15, 2:20, 2:30, something like that, whatever it was. And then it was just normal sound after that. But this is the craziest noise I've ever heard in my life. And I don't know what else to call it except maybe some kind of camera malfunction in the microphone, maybe, I guess. I'm just not sure what else to call it. Okay, I'm going to cut it short right there. Let Brittany check it out, see what she thinks.
Dang, it's weird.
I don't know what that is. So you're going to see the camera cuts off and it comes back on, and it cuts off and it comes back on, and then you're going to start hearing this weird noise in the microphone. I don't know what that is, what that sound is, that noise. Is that weird or what? I don't know what it goes on for, like, you can see right here, 5. It's a total of, what is that, 6 minutes or so, a little over 6 minutes. Just a little over 6 minutes of that happening like that. So, and I'm not gonna let the whole 6 minutes play out here, but.
And you all ain't up there at all during all
No,
this?
we're all down on first floor.
Okay.
No way we can make a noise like that.
No, it's some kind of malfunction, I think, in the microphone, maybe. Other than that, I don't know what else to call it.
Seems like you be doing that more often, though.
Ted here. Okay, so first we're going to show the clips of the cameras going out. And then you start to hear that weird noise. What do you make of that?
Man, that's weird.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's weird. That's almost like one of those piano things that, you know, pushing on the button and holding down on one button and it's making
Right. Yeah.
and then you do another button and it's making a different
I don't know what that is. I really don't. This is another example. This is camera 8 down in the basement in that room he said was a shadow man's room.
Okay.
This camera keeps cutting out for just no reason that I can think of. Yeah, quick that is. It just boom, 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 boom. It keeps cutting out, coming back on, cutting
What
out.
time is that?
7:14. This is early in the investigation.
Wow. And I don't remember them going black that much.
That's because we were I think, if I'm not mistaken, we were still actually setting
Oh,
the
it took a
cameras.
long
Right,
time to
because we
set
didn't
up.
get them all set up until like 9:30, 10
Yeah.
o'clock, I think.
There was just the 3 of
Yeah.
us.
But this sucker keeps. See, you weren't even watching the screen. That's why you didn't
Right,
see this.
right.
Ah, yeah,
right.
that's true.
Right, we were
Did
still
we get
setting
not
them
get
up.
done until 9?
It was
It was
probably
late.
10:30, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might have been
11
later than
o'clock
that,
because
right.
I kept having to apologize to everybody
Right.
for taking so
Yeah,
long
yeah.
because I was expecting us to get set up by 8:30, so I had to go on Facebook and say, sorry, but we're not done yet.
Yeah.
And then 9:30, sorry, we're not done yet. And this is our first possible orb. Notice I always say possible. I never say definite. Because there's no way science of any kind can ever definitively say whether you've got a spirit orb or not. So, with us being a team and based in science, we cannot say that.
Right, right.
We can say it's possible. It's a possible spirit orb, and that's based on the criteria we go by, which I've got videos of that all over the place. So, all anybody has to do is look up one of our other videos, and I've got the full orb criteria somewhere in that video. All you gotta do is fast forward through it, and you'll find it. Now this is upstairs where they had the painting of the lady,
With the light on?
Liz Beattie, with
Right.
the light on the little
You
stand.
always
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
the light on.
And this is the camera this is camera 3, so it's pointed at the end of the hall because I want to try to get the outside of all the doorways in case something moved from one room to another. But yeah, see right there?
Oh, yep, it's fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, it's real bright, real fast, and it shoots up.
I was gonna say, yeah, and it goes straight up.
And there's no air conditioning in this place. There's no.
Right.
They've got all the windows shut. There's
heat.
There's no
Yeah.
no heat, no nothing. There's no airflow whatsoever in this place. So there's no reason this thing should go shooting up like that. Plus the fact it's glowing, what I think is really bright.
It's very bright.
This is the second possible spirit orb we got. And here's where we were getting the K2 hits and the EMF hits in that little room. That's that child's room.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Where the little girl, they said that's where she stayed, the little girl that they said had died there. And you'll see this thing right here. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
It shoots up. Look how bright that sucker's glowing.
And how big around? It looks bigger than.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. And it moves real quick. And plus the fact that, just like the other one, it's moving up.
Right.
And now if it was just kind of floating down a little bit, I could see that being dust.
Right.
But this is not dust. It doesn't behave the way dust does. Okay, this is the clip that we got from their video of their camera, where y'all were seeing that. We were all seeing it, but that
beam?
shaft of light going up and down the frame, and we were like, "What is that?" And I went outside to try to look up and see if I could see anything like a cobweb or something. And I didn't see nothing. And even now, we still do not know what this was. And I sent this video to the guy that showed us around the place, and he was impressed by it. He was like, "Cool." He said he's going to go back and check the video because we showed him this like the very next day after we got home, and we're going through the video, and I seen this. He said he was going to go back there and check the video, and I guess he did, but the only thing he told me was he said it was impressive, and he didn't know any way to explain it. So, but we're going to go ahead and show this. This is that shaft of light.
No, to your right a little bit, right there.
Right. Yep, that's perfect.
Yep. Stay right there for a minute. She's taking video of it now.
Yeah, that is. I don't know what that is.
It's like it's still in front of you. Come closer. Closer, like. See, I don't know. God, I don't know what that is.
It's almost like it's a.
Like it's invisible.
Yeah, or a beam of light.
Right, a beam of light being
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she got a video of it.
Yep, I got it.
That's from their CCTV system, not ours.
Right.
That's their camera they had outside aimed at the parking lot so we could see our cars.
Yeah, even when we left, we was trying to look up at it to see if we could tell,
Yeah.
you know, if anything was coming down.
I still looked up there.
Was you still looking?
And I don't see nothing up there at all. And it was bright. It was almost 11 o'clock when I left. So it was bright, shiny day outside when I left. Yeah.
Now,
If there was
you see
anything
it
in front
still
of if there had been anything in front of that lens of that camera, I would have seen it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's not that far away. Yeah.
Could you still see it in their camera when you left, when it was daylight outside?
See what?
The beam.
No.
You couldn't see the beam?
When I woke up and the sun was up,
yeah,
and I was going into that room and taking all the cords and stuff out, I looked up there and it wasn't there.
it wasn't there?
Yeah. This is an unknown noise.
Wow.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I still don't know what that was. I see, we're all downstairs at 10:30. At 10:30, we were still trying to finish putting the cameras up in the basement
Right.
when this happens. All right. Can you hear this? This is second floor. Camera 2. You hear that?
I heard something.
Like a boom boom. You hear that?
I
You
heard
hear that? Okay, this is at 3 o'clock in the morning. Y'all had just left when this happens. This is at 3:06 a.m.
And it scared the bejesus out of them.
You hear that?
Wow.
Sounds like somebody's tapping on something.
I don't know what it was. See, this is the thing. When y'all decided to leave, because I was hoping we could stay up till 4, but y'all were ready to leave because technically it was 4.
Right.
But for me, it was only 3. When y'all decided to leave, I figured there's no use in me staying up and doing all this. I'm just going to let the cameras run, and if they catch something, they catch it. So I decided to go to bed, but that's the kind of stuff that kept me
Waking you or keeping you awake.
I tried to go to sleep, but I kept. Oh, wait, what was that? I close my eyes, and then I hear something. What was that? Oh. And it took a little while for me to finally go to sleep. What time is this from? 3:40 in the morning. I was already dead asleep by this time. Hear that? That sounds real close to the camera.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds mighty close to the camera, doesn't it?
It
It
does.
doesn't sound like it's far away.
And we didn't have another camera facing on top that one. I don't
Not
know.
on first floor. On first floor, we only had one camera because we had 8 cameras, but we had to use most of them upstairs and down in the basement. We only had that one camera
For the first
for the
floor.
first floor. So this is at 3:50 in the morning. A unknown bang. Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
What the? It sounds kind of far off.
Yeah, that one don't sound as close as that other
So
one.
I'm thinking it's either down in the basement or up in the second floor, maybe. We got another one. This is at 3:54 in the morning. So this is just a few minutes later after that. Can't tell really where it's coming from. And this next one is at 5:44 in the morning. And I'm gonna tell you right now, at 5:44 in the morning, I was I was out like a light at 5:44. So I'm dead to the world. I'm a very deep sleeper. It takes a lot to wake me up. So needless to say, once I got to sleep, I didn't hear none of this. I was very excited when I saw this. This is a few minutes after that one. This is another one at 5:58 in the morning, almost 6 o'clock. That same bang. I just don't know where it's coming from. It does sound like it's far off.
And say all of them but that one.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, this is same note. Well, a similar noise, but this is at 5:08 in the morning. This is camera 2 upstairs on the second floor.
Yeah.
There's several noises in this particular clip. Hear that? Now, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know what it is. You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. Another bang. This is at 5:30 in the morning. 5:29, but might as well about to say 5:30. Did you hear that?
Yep. Real quick.
Okay. Okay, this is the scream. I don't know what this is. I don't know what else to call it. To me, it sounds like a scream. Did you hear it?
I didn't. Damn it.
You might have to have the headphones.
Yeah.
You want to try it?
First? Okay. You can go first if you want.
It don't matter. You're fine.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
We think.
It's really loud.
We think.
I don't know what's in there.
I heard that. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Is that impressive
Yeah.
or what? I like to poop myself when I
No
heard that.
kidding.
That is cool.
Wow.
That is
cool.
That's not.
I'm glad I could hear it on that.
That's not something I was expecting to hear.
No
Right,
kidding.
right.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, I love this place. I mean,
Now here's the same scream, the same sound, but this is from a different camera. You got caught in camera 2. You hear it?
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Here we go. Same thing, different camera. All the cameras upstairs caught this thing. This is camera 3. You hear it?
Yeah.
That's camera 3. Now we go to camera 4. This is the one I had aimed at the stairwell doors. You hear it?
Just barely, but I heard it.
It is faint.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that tells you that that thing was loud enough for all the cameras upstairs to hear it.
Okay, this one you're going to need these because I know how light this thing is. This thing is really faint, really light. Yeah, listen really hard to hear this. We call what sounds to me like a child's voice on the 2nd floor. And this is camera 3, and it goes by so fast. That's the only thing I hate about it. You gotta listen to this sucker really close.
Okay.
Because it goes by so fast.
Yeah, it is fast.
It's like a
Yeah.
something like that.
It's super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it.
You heard it?
Yeah.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, it's
I ain't
really-
gonna hear it.
It's super light and it's very fast.
Very faint, very fast. Same thing, it's placed really fast, but it's really light, really faint. But it sounds like a something like it's 2 notes. That's all it is.
Yeah, it is so faint.
Yeah.
Now, is this the same noise, but from a different camera?
Yeah, this is camera.
Okay.
This is camera 4. You hear it?
I think I'm hearing it.
You think so?
I think so, because it goes by really fast.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to.
It's just 2 notes. All you
Yeah,
do.
yeah. I think I hear it.
Okay.
I think I heard it on that one anyhow.
Okay, this is the first shadow. This is the one I was telling you about because you weren't here. But remember, I was trying to aim this camera 4 to catch those 2 doorways. One was the old, they were renovating the bathroom. The other doorway is that stairwell that goes down.
Right, right.
And I tried so desperately, you were there with me, but I tried so desperately to kind of edge that camera some way that I could catch like a corner of the camera to get just a little bit of that hallway right there, just in case something moved.
Right.
I wanted to be sure I caught it, and we did. So, thank God I moved that camera the way I did.
Yes.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen this. Okay. So the 2247, I'm not exactly sure what time this is. 9 or 10 maybe, I don't know.
2247, it would be almost 10 to 11.
Because this is before we set
Right.
the time off of the military time. But what you want to do is you want to watch this back here.
Oh, I've seen it, yeah.
And the one thing you want to pay attention to is the sound on this, and I'll tell you why. every video where you can hear me and Lorine walking around this place. You can hear our pants legs shuffling. You can hear our shoes on the floor.
Dragging on the floor.
Yeah. And you can hear us talking, mainly because we were asking questions, or Lorine mostly was asking questions, and we were also bitching about how our Facebook Live was screwing up. We couldn't get it to keep running. So we were doing a lot of talking. Normally, I always tell the whole team, I always try to tell everybody, please, silence is an investigator's best friend, because we want to try to catch as many EVPs as possible, you know. We couldn't help but not be quiet because we were so busy trying to get our Facebook Live running and we couldn't. I was getting fed up. And I couldn't stop talking. I couldn't shut up. And when I went back and watched all these videos, I was like, damn it, shut up. Oh, God, I hate myself. I was so mad at myself because I wouldn't shut up. But when I got to this video, I started thinking about it. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is not us. You don't hear no pants legs shuffling. You don't hear no shoes moving around the floor. You don't hear nobody talking, which is the main thing, because we couldn't shut up. So when you listen to the audio, there's no us there. All you see is that shadow. It shows up in the hallway.
Right there, yeah.
Right there. It comes in and then it moves out. Okay, now this is camera 5 on the first floor. This is the only camera we had on the first floor. It was aimed at the front door. You got that big stairwell right there. One side goes down this way, one side goes down the other way. Right behind that, you can't see it in the video, but right behind that is that room where you were watching the camera.
Right.
This is 8:14. I was taking down the cameras upstairs at 8:14 in the morning. So when you watch this video, something either falls or maybe got thrown at the camera. I can't say for sure because I can't see what this is that's moving. I can't see what it is that's hitting the camera. But it hits the camera. You can tell from the noise that it makes that it hit the camera, but it didn't move.
This camera here?
I had this camera tied so tight to that door that there was no way it was going to move. And it didn't move. So I'm glad for that. The main thing I'm glad is that it didn't damage the camera whenever it was hit it. But the thing is, I don't know what this is that fell or thrown. I don't know I don't know what's going on here. I just know it wasn't me, because I was thinking somebody's going to look at this and go say, well, it's me upstairs and my stomping around up there must have lodged off something and made it fall down and hit the camera. It can't be me, because in order for this to be me, I would have had to have been directly above this camera. What you're going to notice is when I let the video keep playing, you're eventually going to see me coming from this direction over here. I was way down that other hallway, taking down that camera down there. So I come from this direction, you'll see me come over here and then go down the stairs on the other side. When I'm going back to the room, I'm trying to get the extension cords all rolled up. See? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
Dang, it hit that camera hard.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, because something else fell to the right of it.
Yep.
Either that or whatever it was broke into 2 pieces. I don't know. That noise that you're hearing, that's me upstairs. You'll see me come in from this direction as I go down the stairs on the other side. You got those dog barking.
Yeah.
See? I come from this way, and now I'm going down the stairs, cord up. But that's the reason it could not be me above the camera knocking something down on it.
Right.
There's no way. Let's just see that one more time. Just that one part. Boom. You can hear pieces of it scatter.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have known to look
Right.
at stuff on the floor when you come to get that camera.
Right. When I came back to take the camera down, this camera, I wasn't thinking about nothing being
Right.
out of the ordinary. And I didn't see anything on the floor that would have sparked my attention.
Right, because you would have walked on it, I'm sure.
Yeah, whatever it was. I didn't see anything, so whatever it was, it must have went underneath a table or something. Maybe I don't know. I still don't know what that was. Okay, this is the
one I'm waiting
everybody's
on.
been wanting to see.
Yes.
This is the shadow that follows me when I'm taking down the cameras that morning.
I thought
Another
the one
shadow following me.
I thought the one that we seen the first time, you actually passed the camera and then your shadow passed it and then the shadow behind.
Well, I was coming up behind the camera to take it down.
Oh.
So you'll see my shadow here,
Right.
and then this.
It's almost like it was saying, wait for me.
Right. That's awesome.
And see, the thing is, I had not seen this yet
Right.
at the time that I contacted Lorine. And I asked her, did you feel funny, like something was following you every time we went up and down those stairs? Because that's what it felt like to me.
Throughout that whole investigation, it felt like we were not alone.
But to me, being the one that stayed there overnight, it was like it was more concentrated. When I woke up in the morning and went to go start taking the cameras down, it was like it was heavier.
Right, you're the only one there to bother.
Right. You was the only one there for it to follow.
Okay, now we're going to get to the footsteps
Oh, okay.
that you heard outside the room.
Yep.
Okay, this is at 11:51, not quite midnight yet. Just before that happened, the footsteps, watch this. The camera cuts out. It comes back on. It cuts out again. Comes back on. Cuts back out again. Comes back on. But see how many times the camera keeps cutting out? Now it's midnight. A little after, 11 minutes after midnight now. And the camera's still cutting out. Now it's 13 after, it's still cutting out. So it did that several times, and then this. Here's the footsteps.
Yep, faintly.
Now pay attention to the very end of that. There's something else that shows up after the footsteps. Sound like a female voice. She's going like, something like that. Like a little moaning almost.
really light.
This is where me and Lorine are upstairs in the second floor, and you radioed us to tell us that you just heard footsteps outside that door. Now I can split screen with us, but I'm using the thermal.
I just heard footsteps outside my door.
Oh,
Oh shit!
okay. Okay, we're on our way.
You see us go downstairs. See all those extension cords I had to roll up in them.
Where?
I heard footsteps right outside that. That's what made me look and see if you guys were out there anywhere. When I didn't see you, that's when I radioed you.
Then we got a camera in this hallway right here,
Yeah.
There's
right?
one right here.
Yeah.
But I didn't see nothing. I could hear something walking right outside that door. That's why I was looking over here, and when I heard that, I looked over here, found that camera, and then I looked right here, and you guys wasn't out there, because I thought y'all was out there when I heard it.
No, we've been up on the second floor. Okay, this is some footsteps we caught down in the basement on camera 6. You hear it?
Faintly.
They're really faint in this particular camera, but the other two cameras were a little bit further away from this one. They caught it really loud. So it was whatever the footsteps are, they were right there at those other two cameras. And this is at 3:44 in the morning. Y'all had already left. That was camera 6. This is camera 7.
Okay, so it was at this point, as we were discussing the video clips, that our camcorder's battery died. I had brought 2 batteries for the camcorder in case one of them died, and we did use both of those batteries, but I didn't realize I was going to need 3. I could have brought a 3rd one, but I didn't think I was going to need 3, but apparently we did. So anyway, the camcorder died, so I'm going to take over now and just do a voiceover for this, since this is the last of the video clips we have to play. Okay, so that was the audio from camera 7. Now we're going to go to camera 8. Alright, so that's all the video we have from the Beattie Mansion. I will point out that the entire team was very impressed with what we caught there, and we do plan to go back eventually for a follow-up investigation sometime in the next few years. We don't know when just yet, but we'll let everybody know. So that's the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to know more about what we do, how we conduct our investigations, or if you're experiencing paranormal phenomenon and you'd like for us to do an investigation for you, you can check out our website at MissouriParanormalAssociation.com, and you can contact us by using the Contact Us page. Or if you'd like to contact us directly, you can do so at our email at MissouriParanormalAssociation@gmail.com, and you can follow our team on our Facebook page. Please don't forget, leave a comment in the comments section below and let us know what you thought about this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all in the next video.